Okay. Guys, so ridiculous. Nothing ever goes right around here, but I don't care because fucking without Parole, man, I'll duct tape and coat hangers. What an awesome thumbnail. Come on, AJ. You can't tell me this is bad.
I love the thumbnail, Bryan.
No, you don't. I don't believe you for a second.
No, it's got some great shiny looking graphics.
Ooh,
like those graphics look really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good vibe, a good aura. I really like the.
Like,
I feel like the chakras are aligned on this one.
I do think the GamesCast Live logo could be, centered in the bottom, but I'm not going to get too picky. I'll give you, Bryan, a B-.
Literally the best score you've ever given me. Let's get this show started. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single, I can't believe it, guys, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we do it with you guys, all of you out there, live. Pretty awesome. And this is one of those days. You were some of those people. My name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And the guys to my right, the boys, Dave from Dave Station VR.
Oh, wow. You gave it a little more juice that time. I liked it. Yeah, strong start.
Absolutely. And the guy on the right-hand side of the screen is AJ from The Underground, PSVR Underground.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Rock is staring at you. He's like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's like, dude, you're on camera, you know that.
MRI Gamer says your B- is like a 4 out of 10 for IGN. I want to give a quick shout out to Donatello, the scientist game cat, for the $20 tip. Says, thank you for all the hard work on April AF. Really enjoyed the trailers and dev interviews. Excellent job, Bryan. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate that. I'm so happy to be able to do that, but we're going to talk about all the stuff that went into all of that in just a little bit here. What day is today? Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, guys. Awesome day, and I'm super happy that you're all here with us. And I gotta say, we had some awesome breaking news right before the show started. Guys, one of the things that we've been talking about for a while now, ever since Hibsy found it on the PlayStation 5 store, and that's Layers of Fear VR has been officially announced for later this month. AJ, give me some details. What's going on over there?
Oh, man. So glad you asked. Layers of Fear, guys, has had its official release date. Wait, that can't be right. April 29th. It is coming this month.
It is right.
They from Krakow, Poland. They say Bloober Team has announced today that its psychological horror hit Layers of Fear VR is coming to PlayStation VR on April 29th, 2021. This is a continuation of the company's strategy to bring its quality horror games to popular virtual reality platforms.
AJ, side note, I would love to be in a geography class with you where a teacher calls on you and you raise your hand and say, Krakow! That's where it is. Krakow!
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 Yeah, man, we do. We've been talking about this for a while. Like I said, Hibsy found it on the PlayStation 5 store. It seemed like it was destined to be officially announced at some point, and then everything went quiet. We never heard anything about it. We never get an official announcement until today. And I guess this is what I guess we can finally say. This is what Incuvo was teasing. We've been talking about that for the last week or so as well. They had Move controllers posted over on their Twitter account, and that's officially it. What the hell is Belramio trying to say in this tip? Belramio, the 20 euros said,
"Yeah, man,
baby hands,
baby hands celebration, guys." We're totally gonna, after we talk about Layers of Fear, we're gonna do a recap on the PSVR is April as AF. By the way, can we just give a quick round of applause for Bryan for throwing that show together, executing it very well. It was very enjoyable, Bryan. Thank you so much for entertaining us with the awesome content, man. Thank you to the developers as well that contributed.
Yeah, that's the first nice thing you've ever said to me, AJ. I don't even know how to take that in stride, but thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Favorite. Savor it,
yeah,
and hold on to it forever because you're gonna need it.
Yeah. Darth Vader, the game cat with the $10 tip, says, Bryan and everyone, if you haven't experienced Layers of Fear yet, you are all in for a terrifying treat. Thank you so much for the tip,
right.
Darth.
Nobody is more excited than Bryan. I'm excited.
So I should be more excited. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's a VR horror game, and I'm really, really excited to get another VR horror game. But I mean, I'm the guy who bought Layers of Fear on PlayStation 4. Then I played it for like a half an hour and was like, eh. And then I picked it up on Switch, going, oh, I'll just like play this in the dark in bed and stuff, and it'll be scary. And then I got like a half an hour in, I was like, eh. I mean, this is gonna be the only way I'm gonna play this game apparently. And I think Layers of Fear came out like, was that pre? That was definitely pre VR, right?
It's like
pre
2016.
Oh yeah,
2016. Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty old.
2016.
The original one.
Yeah, so I didn't have an excuse not to play it when it first came out. But yeah, no, this is so I am excited because I never played it, I guess. But also I'm curious to know what was it that wasn't grabbing me when I played the flat screen version. Is that going to will the VR stuff transcend that? We'll go, well, Bryan, you weren't really terribly interested in this, but because it's in VR, is that gonna pull me through?
I think we know the answer to that question. Pretty sure we know the answer to that question.
Listen,
almost always yes. Almost always yes.
As long as it's better than Don't Knock Twice, we've got a winner on our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on the critically acclaimed 2016 title, Layers of Fear VR immerses players into the depths of madness as they take control of a painter aiming to finish his magnum opus, uncover visions, fears, horrors that entwine the painter while exploring the depths of an ever-changing Victorian mansion filled with the macabre artwork, all brought to life in a truly immersive and frightening virtual reality adventure thanks to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR headset. Developed by Incuvo and published by Bloober Team, Layers of Fear PSVR will be available for $19.99.
A nice price.
It's actually it's a great price, man. I love $20 horror games. Super excited about this, guys. Did you play Layers of Fear? I talked about my history. No,
I've never tried it. I have no history with this game at all. And I know, I mean, it's been around in VR for a while, right? On PC stuff.
Yeah,
because I think when I first, but I never tried it. I never got around to it for whatever reason. So, why not dive in now?
Same with you, AJ?
Never played it. Never had any interest until VR.
Well, I'm looking this up because actually Rody just asked in the chat how long it is, and it's looking like, according to HLTB.com, howlongtobeat.com, the main story is about 3.5 hours, and then the extras tack on about another hour. That's if Layers of Fear VR contains all of Layers of Fear 1.
Do they not have a separate listing for Layers of Fear VR on How Long to Beat?
I don't know. I didn't type that in.
Yeah, there's some VR games on there. Like Alex is on there, of course, and like bigger ones they've got listings for. But
Adolf Schittler in the chat is around 3 to 4 hours.
Got it. Thank you, Adolf Schittler.
Which is I know, we'll just let that one slide.
I guess. Yeah, Mods, are you sleeping or what's going on? No, just kidding.
And that's
not
why.
Exactly.
But that's pretty typical, right? I mean, like I don't remember the exact length of Paranormal Activity. I don't remember the exact length of Don't Knock Twice. But for the $20 horror games, I feel like that's a good length, and that works for me. Now let's Ryan the game feline with the $5 tip says, "Here's some layers of cash." Thank you.
Nice.
We're a quarter of the way there.
You can make it 5 layers of cash, or I guess 4 layers of cash, depending on how you split it up. $2 bill and 3 $1 bills, or just 1 $5 bill or 5 $1 bills. We'll figure it out.
So not
layers of cash. You're making layers of cash out of bill. Like, how else do you make a layer of cash?
It could be 5 $1. Is that what you're saying? It could
Stack the bills. Yeah. 1 $2 bill, 3 $1 bills. Who knows?
This is like one of those Professor Layton puzzles where they're like,
absolutely.
7 of the 9 children are lying, and then you have to figure. Fuck those puzzles.
I feel like a torture device would be trying to play a Professor Layton game like right when you rolled out of bed and being like, nah, bro, come on, wait, I really have to solve that shit. Oh my god.
Dude, I'll tell you, the worst is playing it right before bed because you're already tired, and then you're like, I have to read and think hard about things, and then so I make it like a halfway into each puzzle and go, I don't know, man. I think I'd just rather sleep. I'm almost done with the Diabolical Box, though. If anyone's interested in keeping up with my Professor Layton playthroughs, it's going well.
Yeah.
That it's not as good as the Curious Village, but Diabolical Box is pretty good so far.
Well, I think I got us off track there, but we ended up in a minor should we or shouldn't we zone, so that's good for everybody. So let's get back on track, though. AJ, what do you want to talk about next?
Let's let Your Long Shadows bring us back with the 50. It's not okay, I promises. Saying lasagna urge intensifying. That there's nothing gets us back on topic than a lasagna urge intensifying tip. Thank you very much, Your Long Shadows. AJ, what is next on the run of show?
Well, next, so yeah, really excited about that. That comes out this month. I think we also have, don't we also have Star Wars Pinball coming this month as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Same date, possibly.
April 29th or April 27th, something like that.
And then we have Alvo, April 13th, which was announced, Monday, I think, or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, 3 games this month.
Dude, don't forget about Alt Deus Beyond Chronos. I know you're excited about that visual novel.
I actually heard it was way better than the first one, and I still need to try it out because I think I asked for a code, or I was gonna ask for a code or something. But yeah, I need to give that a shot because it's got great reviews. It's supposed to be better than the first one.
Rody confirms that Pinball is coming on the same day as Layers of Fear. So man, it's just apparently April 29th is PSVR AF. It's crazy. Mad Max, the Game Cat Alley Cat with the $3 tip says, "Here I go. Resident Evil verse, RE-verse tomorrow. Anyone giving it a go?" I gotta be honest, man. I don't know anything about RE-verse.
I need to check that out as well. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but I like Resident Evil.
It's not in
VR,
so barking up the wrong tree for me at least.
All right, guys. So, we had, because we missed a day, you did do the day 2 PSVR April is PSVR AF event, and we're going to really just highlight 2 significant things we saw from there, and basically just cover anything regarding like new information and talk about it. The first one, of course, you opened up the show with Synth Riders, and my God, everybody has been messaging me lately about how much they love Synth Riders multiplayer in particular.
Oh, and it's incredible. It's so much fun.
I keep getting the main comment I keep hearing is like, it's so much better than Beat Saber's multiplayer. Like I hear that constantly because it seems like it has that interactive element, the kind of Mario Kart mechanics that they added to where you can stifle each other.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's up to 10 players in its current mode. I think they didn't confirm that 100% for PlayStation. They're like, we'll see how many players it'll be. But even if we get, like 8 people in a room or something, still plenty enough to get all your friends in there and have a good time. And like voice chat is built in. It just works. And it's, super, super fun with the power-ups. The other cool thing about the multiplayer is if you buy DLC and you're hosting, everybody in your party can play that DLC, which is not the case in Beat Saber multiplayer. You guys all have to own the same pack to play one from that pack. So that makes it a lot easier for friends of yours playing along and stuff. And like, I buy one pack, you buy another pack. Eventually we can all kind of cover the bases and stuff. And, save some cash at the same time.
It was fun hearing Anne-Marie from Kluge Interactive talk about Synth Riders. She did mention the 10-player multiplayer in regards to the PlayStation VR version, but you're right, they haven't actually confirmed that.
Okay.
So that might have been a little bit of a slip. But I do think they said they're launching with 55 songs, so it's certainly not hurting for any content over there. 55
free songs, and all takes place in a retro future-inspired world, which, in my experience, it's one of the reasons I love Trigon and Dreams and stuff. That aesthetic works really, really well in VR. That kind of Tron feel about it. But there's also another 20 available songs that will be available as paid DLC. And anything from Muse, which is something I've wanted in Beat Saber. And then they just had the Adrenaline pack, which was like Offspring, Pennywise, Bad Religion, other bands that I really, really like.
And one cool thing about their DLC packs as well is you get some of the songs for free. Like the Adrenaline pack, I have some free Bad Religion stuff, I think.
Really?
And there's other songs that you can pay for to complete the whole pack. So like they give you like half of it, and then the other half costs, which is a cool way to do it.
We call that the drug dealer technique. It's like
give them a little upfront for free. Yeah.
Now I need
but it
more.
works. I mean, I've ended up buying DLC already a couple times just because I was like, well, why not? I want to play this stuff. So.
Yeah, I've oftentimes bought DLC and stuff just to, well, obviously you get something out of this, but you get great support from it as well.
Shout out to Charles Apex with the the £2 tip with the little. Is that a pear? A pear saying cool? Thank you very much, Charles. Dave, if you guys don't mind taking a second here, I've got some questions as far as Synth Riders is concerned, because I feel like we've played a lot of games that look like this. Yes. And I know multiplayer seems to be the focus that everybody keeps talking about, being, oh, it's really fun. And so I've got two questions, and that's one, is single player is it satisfying?
Yes, actually. So I played single player to get up to speed, obviously, before I jumped into multiplayer, because these people have been playing way more than I had at this point.
Right.
But what I realized is that I think I kind of wrote it off. Like I saw in the chat, somebody said, how is this different than Dance Collider? And I kind of had written it off as Dance Collider. What I'll tell you is the mapping is really good. The song choices are really good. And the feeling you get when you're doing it properly is unique to, Beat Saber or Pistol Whip or any other, game that we have, Audica. It's its own unique thing that actually feels really good. And it syncs up with the music in a way where you're actually dancing more. Whereas Dance Collider tried to get you to do that because there was this big avatar showing you how to dance, but nothing was mapped properly. Like it didn't feel right with the music. It felt off tempo and stuff. This just hits right. Like this is a well-made rhythm game. And like when I played at launch, I had kind of a lower opinion about it, but they've added so much to it, even just without the multiplayer, just like song selection and like it just feels like a really polished game at this point. So it might look not that exciting when you see footage of it, but it's fun to play. Absolutely, nice. Even single player. Excellent. Yeah.
And my other question about it is, the thing that you said and that Anne Marie said during the event, everyone compares it to kart racing. What kind of power-ups do you get, or what kind of ways do you affect the other players?
Yeah, so there's some that are similar to the Beat Saber multipliers, where like, I said that weird, like AJ would say, multiplier, multipass, Dallas. Okay, sorry, multipass. No, so they've got ones that are like the ghost notes, where like you inflict ghost notes on somebody else, so they disappear as they come.
Nice.
They've got one where you randomize the colors. One of my most favorite ones is this thing called Invaders, and these little Space Invader guys pop up, and they're shooting at you, and you have to dodge them with your head, like while you have to pistol whip while you're synth riding, essentially.
This is cool. Great. I love this.
And you can stack them on top of each other. So like if somebody just sent me, there's one that changes everything to this like rainbow color, so you can't tell which is which, right? But similar to Ghost Notes, if you look far enough ahead, they're changing to that color as they come, so you can kind of keep an eye on it. But you can get that on top of max speed boost, and you're going way too fast, and then the invaders show up all at the same time, and you're like, fuck whoever did this to me, I will kill you all. And it's just really fun. Lots of shit talk when you get something sent to you. It always tells you who sent it to you as well.
Nice.
And there's a cool little, at the top, there's a running leaderboard so you can see who's in what place. It tells you just moved up to third place. You moved up to second place. So there's always kind of a rivalry going on, like naturally. It's like really, really good.
One last question before we move on to the next thing. One of the things I loved about, there's a game on the Japan store only, so not many of you are going to recognize this reference, but it's called Airtone.
Airtone, I know.
Yes, and I love about the gameplay of that is like it has a similar thing where these notes are coming at you and you're like slapping them with these huge giant cat paws. Is it that same kind of thing where like it's a lot of slapping and then like tracing?
It's not so much slapping. The way it works is there are different styles of play. So there's one that is based on force, where you do get a better score if you hit it hard. But I've never actually played that one, really. The default is flow mode or rhythm mode, which basically you keep your arms where they need to be and kind of guide them through these paths where it'll be, one color or the other. But a lot of it is like tracing the trail, and then you'll have some individual discrete grab. No, you just hold your hands out.
It's just about catching. Okay.
Yeah, for the power-ups on multiplayer, you pull the trigger to pop them on somebody. But yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I think everyone should be excited about it if you're into rhythm games.
Well, no release window on this yet, right, Brad?
That's right. I think they're a little bit hesitant. They just don't want to make any promises that they can't keep, which is, this day and age, obviously very understandable. So,
yeah. Well, cool. So the other thing that was brought up during the PSVR AF Day 2 event was the interview with Affected the Manor developers. And there was something that really stood out to me. And that was that we had known that they had teased, I think it was during the 2020 award show, that they had teased that they were working on 2 other projects. But now, with a little bit of prying, Bryan, you were able to confirm, it seems like, that these are more horror projects, and that they are possibly expanding the universe of Affected the Manor.
Yeah, it does seem like, when I asked, I just figured they were entirely different games. When I think about Affected, I think, we're going to be paying for Affected the school. We're going to be paying for whatever. But I always kind of envisioned it as DLC for the current game. I feel it, and I might be making this up, but I feel like once upon a time, there was like this image of an elevator or something, and you walk into the elevator, in one of the floors says the Manor, and another floor, like, there's all these different buttons that weren't labeled yet, and I thought that was going to be our interface system. I think I might have made that up. but that might be a real thing too. If anybody remembers that, help me out, because I'm feeling like I'm losing it.
It would be smart. I mean, if that's how they set it up, that's a great way to do it. But
yeah. And so I just kind of envisioned, like, whatever came next for Affected was going to be, paid DLC, even if it was like $10, $15 DLC. Here's your next big Affected thing. It was going to be packaged together. But now they're calling Affected the Manor Complete Edition. This is what they're calling the upcoming release, and it's kind of becoming with the 2 pieces of DLC all bundled together with all the updates in one package, and so I think that they're kind of like moving on to other Affected games and being like, okay, this is a completely new separate entity. So yeah, for me that's crazy exciting, because it's like, okay, well, I've had enough of the Manor. What's next?
Right.
But of course we haven't had enough of the Manor because we haven't played the DLC. It's like, that shit looks cool too.
So do you think, having talked to him and stuff, like, do you think this is something people should be excited about if they've played the game already, or something that people who haven't played it yet should get excited about? Because, like, for me, I think of fighting games when I hear of something like a complete edition or an ultimate edition. And, like, I often wait until the complete edition is out to buy the game, right?
Yeah.
So I can just get all the stuff included, and it end up being cheap at some point. But, like, yeah, is it going to be like that, or is it so much different that people who've already played it are going to go back and, like, really enjoy themselves?
Well, the 2 big things that he mentioned, Alex Moretti, I didn't even mention his name. And 2 big things, and he's the CEO. It's so nice for him to sit down and talk to me. Like who goes? Oh, the CEO of our company, not like the lead, the lead designer or like the PR dude from the team. It's like, oh, we're gonna get the fucking guy that runs the company to sit down and talk with you. I was like, thanks, that's amazing. So thanks, Alex, for doing that with us. And so what he kind of like made very apparent, I think, was that if you love Affected, like if you bought it and you went through and you played it, you went through both routes and you're like, this was cool, man, this was a good use of my $7. I had a good time. This is going to be more for you. You're going to be like, sweet, I get to come back and do things radically different, because the 2 new modes are totally different. The Gauntlet is more of a fast-paced thing where you like kind of run through new sections of the Manor. There's randomized scares, and so like you're like, even though you're running through and trying to get the best time, you're still nervous, and you're like looking around every single corner, trying not to like have a heart attack. And there's different doors, so there's different paths you can take, and so that's like an entirely different thing. So again, if you like Affected and you want to play it differently, that's what that's for. But then there's like this whole other thing called the Darkness, and the Darkness looks awesome because they get rid of the flashlight and they give you a candle, and then you're walking around new areas of the Manor, which is like not, so you're not just retreading the same environments again. It's actually like new locations, and it's scarier because you've only got a candle, and so that's like supposed to be the scariest stuff yet. So yeah, so if you liked Affected proper, it sounds like the DLC is like blows it out of the water, and it's like, here's way more of the stuff you already like.
Awesome. Man, I wish I could play Doom 3 with a candle. That'd be terrifying. It's like holding it next to my shotgun, get a little birthday candle.
Shout out to Hugh Guyver with the Australian $5 with the says Cash Riders, money, 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 Cash Riders. I like it. Thanks, Hugh Guyver. Say hi to cousin Mac for us. So yeah, but also keep in mind, guys, that if you haven't bought Affected yet, you should buy Affected because the price is going to go up after all this. It's the Crisis Brigade model where it's like if you've already paid for it, you get everything that's coming for free. So go buy it now, and then but then once the DLC's out, man, it's like that's a permanent price hike.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, you should buy it anyways. We've said to buy it. It's under $10 and it's pretty damn good. So.
And it's way better than every haunted house I've been to for the last 5 years. Like, you know, especially in the time of COVID where you might not get to go to a haunted house this year, and you probably didn't get to go to one last year. It's like, have a friend over and like see who's the bigger baby.
Now, Brian, is there a kid with a trombone in this one?
I mean, hopefully.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that a thing?
That's an inside joke that I think you don't remember. Yeah, no, at the meetup, you guys went in that haunted house, and AJ and I didn't pay to get in. But I just heard some kid playing a trumpet every now and then, or a trombone, and it would like freak people out. And you guys told me afterwards, yeah, there's a little kid in there playing a trombone to freak you out. Like, okay, doesn't sound exciting or scary, but
there was nothing exciting or scary about about the Six Flags, whatever the haunted night was.
Didn't seem like it.
Guys, before we move on, we got a couple tips from Scott Jessico, PSN, Harry Fellow, PSVR Game Cap for life. 2 quid. Man, Dave, I used to know currencies, and I think it's because of you.
Funny how that flipped.
Right?
Well, that, Brian, is a pound.
There's a pound. In for a penny, as they say, in for a penny, in for £2. I quit. I'm sorry. Somebody take over my position. I'll pack my bags. From the front line, congratulations on PSVR AF week. Thank you very much, Scott Jessico. I hope it's Scott Jessico present and not Scott Jessico future. Also, Darth Vader, the Game Cat with $4 tips. Yeah, no dollars. Says, would kill for Zombie Army 4 VR. Our resident flat screen gamer, of course, talking about flat screen games. We love you, Darth, but we also love making fun of you, so deal with it.
All right, guys. So today, Brian, kicked off day 3. The finale of April is PSVR AF event. And man, the start of this show could not have been any better for me personally. Because you kicked off the show with the return of the missing baby hands.
Baby hands, baby. And I got excited watching this trailer, actually.
I did too.
That sounds wrong.
This game was such a joke at first. Like we memed on this game kind of in that like we kept asking about it because we were like, it's so silly, it's so, whatever. And I gotta say, after seeing the trailer today, I'm like, I'm kind of excited for this game.
I'd play it.
This looks good. There's lots of references in there. It starts out with a Back to the Future reference. You're already getting some points with me there, but there's like Voltron, Godzilla, RC car.
I think Rugrats. I felt like there was some kind of Rugrats reference in there somewhere. Obviously, would make sense.
Right.
It's a true baby game, but I'm excited for it.
Well, yeah, it looks like little baby Mission Impossible or some shit. Like you gotta, escape, get through all these things, figure out the gadgets. I don't know. I'm cautiously interested in baby hands.
Let me tell you what they did right with this trailer. Have you been holding the aim the whole time? Did I just notice you've been holding it the whole time?
He's keeping it just outside of frame. It's like his safety blankie.
Keeps it right there by him. To me. It's the thing they did right with this trailer is they killed it. It was fast paced and they showed a lot of different things. Like they just kept the action high. Like they kept the music was upbeat. Fairly funny. The first trailer they had was like sort of a little, in my book at least, too Rugrats, where it was like, oh, this feels like a baby game. This seems like a baby on a mission to like fuck shit up. That was the general vibe I got from this trailer, and so I think that this is definitely portraying a game that I think more people want to play.
Ninja Turtles. I'm seeing Ninja Turtles.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many good references here, and that kind of has me a little bit intrigued.
Yeah, I really can't wait to check out this locomotion system because it really we've seen similar things before, but not as a baby. Where like you grab the world and you pull it around you. Tether did that.
Yeah.
Dino Frontier did that. But this is like you're actually crawling, so you're pulling the world by doing this. And I'm just wondering, I'm like, is that going to get old really fast, or is it going to be like Hop Along the Badlands where I'm like the whole time? This is great.
Well, I wonder if, like, as you go through the game, maybe you like start leveling up, like you start crawling, and then you're like, okay, level 2, I can walk now, and now I can go a little bit faster, and you've got your progression system,
Maybe
like he learns how to climb or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Red Rover, the effing game cat with the $5 tip says Michigan J Frog. What is that? You guys,
I'll laugh at any references I don't get, just to seem cool. Yeah.
There's so many. Let me just say, there's so many references in this video. I know you've already said that kind of, but there are a lot.
Oh,
like
I know what he's talking about. It's Michigan J Frog is that little singing, dancing frog from the Looney Tunes guys, and that's in there too. Yeah, they got that in there too.
Gabriel 004 licensed to meow game cat says there's a Doctor Who reference in here. Is it the TARDIS? Is that? I didn't see it.
I don't know if that was Doctor Who or was that Bill and Ted.
Right. Okay.
So it's one of the two. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't even want to look anymore. Like get it off the screen. There's so many great references. I want to be surprised.
Don't ruin baby hands for me.
Don't spoil baby
of
hands.
all things, guys. And I will say that like you said, we made a lot of jokes about baby hands over a while, and these are the guys doing the what's the Valhalla game that they're behind, sort of Valhalla, something along that line. And but basically that was a game that I looked at and was like, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to go down. But if this ends up being good, then I'll we'll have a good first impression of chicken
this
waffle.
Looks better.
Chicken
this
waffle.
Looks better than that Half-Life Alex inspired Valhalla game.
That was the one. With like Half-Life Alex inspired by
like Half-Life Alex everything.
Right, our controls are inspired by. It's like no, that's just VR. Okay, that's. You have a controller and you push a button.
But no, I'm actually kind of impressed. I think this game has a chance to be fun with all the references, with all the things you get to mess with. It has a chance.
Yeah, we don't have a date on this. It's coming soon, and I know that some people were disappointed with the fact that there weren't more actual release dates. But let me tell you, I got to tell you guys something. When I decide to just randomly wake up one day in May, I think it was No, it's not May yet. March, the very beginning of March, I woke up and I swear I had a dream or something, and I was like, I'm going to do an event in April. And I just out of the blue just decided I was going to do it. I emailed a ton of developers, and the fact that anybody was on board, that it lined up with anybody's time schedule for their release, was just magic. That any of this came together was great. And so I totally understand when developers are like, we're not ready to, to talk about a release date, but we do want to show you new footage of our game. I was like, that's fucking awesome, man. I'll certainly take that all day, every day. Red Rover, the effing game cap, the $2 tip says, if it has a Gorn reference, I'm in. I didn't see any Gorn references.
I said maybe when Gorn comes out, it can get a Gorn reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
DLC.
That's very true. Very true. All right, guys. Baby hands is a thing. It's still alive and kicking and crawling.
The Dark Souls of baby games.
I don't know if that's Among the Sleep, I think, has that award.
The next item that you showed off on the showcase, Brian, was, of course, we did cut out a couple of the things that were kind of like nothing new.
Yeah, like Suicide Guy was just a guy driving a car. I was like, what's that about? Is he going to commit suicide? What am I looking at?
Yeah, I kind of knew more about the game beforehand. We did see some brand new gameplay footage and info about RC Airplane Challenge from Strange Game Studios. And it was great to hear Reggie provide some little bit of info about the game, give us some footage about the different views. Obviously, this is inspired by people that takes a lot of inspiration about people that love the remote control airplanes. That is really common, really big hobby of people. They get really into that thing, and drones and stuff too. Drones have kind of been a more popular thing within the last 10 years. But yeah, the one of the most, Brian, I'll let you get on with more of the info on this, but one of the most significant things I saw was he was finally showing some first person footage. and it was really, really great to see that, because for me, I know a lot of people don't, they get sick and stuff, but for me, I'm like, I have to have that first person, not third person view.
Yeah, it's always funny to hear from developers. Like, I tried this and I got kind of sick and I wasn't sure if it would work. And then I pushed through and I got used to it and it does work. Because we've had devs tell us, oh, I get sick, I can't do stuff like this in games. Like, I'll put this locomotion system in, but I can't use it myself. Like, there are those devs out there. So it's cool to hear Reggie say that he got over it. And, I think for most of us, it probably won't be that big of a jump to get over the nausea that he's talking about. It looked pretty crisp and smooth to me. Like, I don't foresee getting much motion sickness from this. Having played Ace Combat 7 and stuff, like, seems fine.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I mean, obviously, Reggie is experienced at this point, knowing the ins and outs of PSVR, and especially how to make multiplayer work and keep the frame rate up and all this stuff. One of the things that Nihilus Ryan, the game feline in the chat, just says, I can't get over those trees reacting in the wind. Definitely brought some Immortal Legacy vibes in, whereas because I always like the wind in that game, I just thought was so effective. Like, it just looked good because the trees were moving and everything, and I see the same thing kind of happening here. And Reggie's trying to get all of this grass, like these individually rendered blades of grass, because it looks amazing. Like, anytime we've seen him get close to the ground in this, it's really, really effective. And so, yeah,
I'm gonna have to bug him to put in a flower mode where you can just play flower with the cards, because if the grass looks as nice as it looks like it does, I'd be into something like that.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring this up, and I'm interested to get both of your takes on this, because there's a part of me that's like, he's talking about the mode where you can stand on the ground and just look up at the air, look up at your airplane and play it like it's an RC plane, and just stand there as if you're standing on the ground flying a kite, right? And you're just that's your perspective, and you're just There's no way you can play multiplayer like that, right? You're not gonna be shooting down your enemies like in that perspective. And so there's a little part of me that's like, just ditch the RC part of this and make it just plane versus plane.
Well, so that is the funny part to me too, because AJ was saying, it's for hobbyists and people who like RC planes and drones and stuff.
Right.
But when it gets exciting for most of us is when you see them shooting at each other and doing barrel rolls and avoiding fire and having a good fun dogfight in VR. Because I think we all want to do that. And he buried that so deep into the presentation. He's like, we've also got multiplayer. It's like, you should have said that first, Reg. Say that first. Because that's what I'm excited about. But it's cool that it caters to everybody. I mean, Reggie always has a lot of options in his games, and so to be able to play like that if you want to makes sense. But if you don't want to and you want to shoot people in multiplayer, glad to know that is actually all in, all supported.
He's definitely the king of multiplayer, and jamming the capacity of players that he can. But to me, I'm interested in the ring mode. Like, I like the whole pilot wings, fly through the rings, and where you got a copy right there, Brian? Is that what you looked over at?
No, sirens on my end.
Okay. I'm interested in the dogfighting for sure. I think it was cool to hear him say about how he's trying to really get every ounce of detail and stuff out of the graphics, and so that's what he's working on. It's already much more polished than what we've seen before. It's looking really, really polished at this point. But yeah, I'm interested to see the other game modes, especially the multiplayer dogfighting and the ring challenge or whatever it's called are the two that kind of pique my interest the most.
Now, real quick, PS5 4K gameplay says HOTAS support in RC game, and I have to assume with Reggie being behind the thing, there's got to be HOTAS support on that thing.
Most likely.
He is the one guy who supports every possible controller configuration.
It is RC, but I would still think he could put it. I know he could probably put it in, but it is a different concept. It's not actual airplanes, so
right. MRI in the chat says, can't wait to fly a plane with one move remote into the nav controller.
Yeah, exactly.
You should. I mean, PS5 4K gameplay was also asking if you can land and take off and stuff. They do show you right here, actually, coincidentally, footage of selecting your plane and then taking off, just like that. I don't know if there's a point in landing. Maybe you have to land after you're done, going through all the rings and stuff. I have no idea. That would be kind of cool. But we'll
landing is typically the hardest part in flying.
You've played Top Gun on the NES, I see.
I've also flown a Cessna in real life, so I'm not like licensed or anything. Probably not legally.
Wait, why'd they let you do that?
Long story.
This is a story I need to hear.
So yeah,
Maybe
really
over the
looking for that. Obviously, no release window on this yet, Brian.
No, just very soon, basically. I think because the 16v16 multiplayer is going to be such an integral part of this game, he's considering simultaneous launches across all platforms so we can have crossplay and make sure that the player base is active. But this is one that's sort of been like he's been saying coming soon for a while, but every time it doesn't come out, I totally understand why, because he's just making it better and better and better.
Yeah.
And again, with the simultaneous launch, it's like that's going to make multiplayer better when you have like packed lobbies and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I need to I haven't been keeping up my end here because I said I would play the beta that he sent me and tell you guys how it was or stream it or something, and I have not yet done that. So it's sitting on my computer right here. I'll try it as soon as I can because I'm excited about this one.
Well, all right. Well, looking forward to that. Next on the list, Dash Racing gave us an update, and we got some really cool new info. Brian, can you take it away with what you discovered with Dash?
What did you discover?
I mean, I discovered that I should probably have a trailer running here, and there it is. There's who's a good trailer? You're a good trailer. Yes, you are. So we talked about this game for a while, and at the PSVR award show, we actually said that this game was coming out in Q1. That was what they revealed then. But again, this is another team that was like, man, we got to make sure that this is crossplay at launch, and so that really held them back. Is Dave there? I don't know. I just want to make sure nothing's wrong with. Okay.
He's fine.
He's fine. Okay, just a big black screen. It's all right. So, you know what? The thing is, Dave's being really good because he knows that it throws off the show when he turns off the cameras. So he just covered the camera, and now I have been distracted because of it. I apologize.
Yes,
okay, this is the opposite intention. And so so what they want to do is they want to launch with crossplay support. And in getting approval for all that stuff takes forever. And so they have now been finally, like just I think this week, they got approved this week for crossplay support over on the PlayStation side of things. And now they can say, yes, when we launch, it's going to launch with PlayStation, crossplay with PlayStation gamers, which is great, again, because I mean, you want that active player base. But man, it was like the information just kept coming in. It's like the more I talked to them, the more they were like, oh, and you can talk about this, and you can reveal this, and you can reveal this. And it's like, I mean, like everything from like there's going to be a new UI, there's going to be new tutorial modes, new campaigns, there's going to be new tracks. Like they were talking about like 7 tracks over there on Oculus, and by the time it gets to PlayStation VR in late Q2 is the new projected release date. There's going to be 14 minimum tracks, so possibly even more tracks at launch than that, but 14 minimum. I mean, this is such good news because we've been wanting a really good kart racer for the longest time, and we've gotten close. Like touring karts was really fun, but like not super polished. And I just feel like that these guys are giving it the time it deserves to make sure it's polished and give us a complete game at launch.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one that's gonna be our kart racer. Like I've played this on Quest with a bunch of people, or I played it on PC via my Quest, or whatever, that whole thing. But super fun, super polished. The maps they already have there all have a very unique theme, different elements to them. They're all like got a really uniquely defined identity between each track. It's not samey or anything, and it's got that Mario Kart feel. There's plenty of stuff to unlock and like progression, for unlocking different handling modes for your car or cosmetic shit or avatars and stuff.
The unlockables are really cool, from like shirts, hats, cars, all sorts of things. Horns.
They have the horns. Yeah, they actually they have some YouTuber stuff in there too. Like there's a Shughead horn that plays Shughead's intro song, which some people like to troll me with because I'm like, damn it, I've heard this song too many times. Stop. Don't remind me about that Canadian.
Can we get a horn that just goes?
I think
you should ask him about that.
So the one thing, Brian, about this trailer that you showed, or the showcase, that only one person I noticed this as well. Yeah. I think that was my dude, Just Incredible VR, said, was that a new map?
Yep. Yeah. So I was pretty sneaky because the trailer looked like an old trailer, and you have to go back to the show and actually watch it yourself. We're not going to show that here. What I did was I took, because a lot of, like, a little inside baseball, some developers like sent me a finished product, says here's our video, and some of them said here's a bunch of stuff in a bunch of like text, and just go to town, figure it out yourself. And I'm like, okay. And this was one of those figure it out yourself things. So I took the original trailer, but then I started editing in new weapons. If you see the cash gun, where you shoot money at other people, and it like actually covers up their field of view with money on their face. Nice. And you have to like wipe it off and stuff. And so that's in there. They did a reveal of 2 new tracks that we just kind of cut to just briefly, because they didn't want to do they didn't want to spoil it for people who hadn't seen it yet. So we get a taste of 2 new tracks in that trailer. Yeah, guys. So if you're a big Dash fan, go back and watch PSVR AF again and really scour that, because I chopped in a lot of new stuff. One of the other things, I don't know for anyone who's playing right now, I don't know where the IK system is right now, but they're definitely touting a much improved IK system, where it's like, you can like wave to each other and do all this crazy stuff, and so that's in the trailer as well, so you can like hunt that down.
2 comments I want to call out real quick. Nihilus Ryan, the Game Feline, says the drifting in this game is the closest to Mario Kart I've seen. Absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. It feels just mechanically really good, and I am the guy who always wants to drift around every damn corner and build up as much boost as I possibly can, and it works. It feels right. And you can really kick ass if you get the boosting down and the drifting and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then the other one is LC2552 Beats says a horn that plays a siren that says "Sirens on my end." Pretty goddamn good, right?
I like that. That's pretty fantastic. Yeah.
All right. So end of quarter 2 is what they're aiming for this. Super excited. This is like the kart racer that we've been waiting for I don't know, 4 or 5 years now.
Ever since VR carts didn't deliver at all.
Yeah.
Better late than never. But an excellent game overall, and you have to imagine that this is one that you could see maybe getting another version in the future.
Oh yeah, PSVR 2 version, it'll definitely get support for the updated controllers. That works pretty well on the Quest. I'm sure they'll figure out a good way to do it on PSVR, but they have to. I mean, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we had an interview. Alvo has finally gotten its release date, April 13th. I know a lot of people have been asking for that nonstop. The beta's been going on forever. We've been playing it. But on top of that, we have the official price for Alvo that was revealed as well during the show. And it is going to retail at $39.99, but a 2-week launch discount of 25%, bringing it to $29.99.
Right. I know.
Yeah, if you're going to buy this game, buy it at launch. Absolutely. I mean, first of all, lobbies are going to be packed the first few weeks. You'll probably get the best experience out of it there when everybody's hyped and playing all day.
It's going to have a strong launch, I think.
Yeah, but second of all, we've said even to Steve directly, hey man, $40 is too much. Like, don't do $40. So I think 30 is the right zone here. Mm-hmm. And like, if you are interested, get it when it's 30. Absolutely get it when it's 30. That's my advice.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely want to double down on what Dave said. It's like, this I think is a great compromise. I think it's probably getting messaging from all sides, and from hearing from everybody who's played it and everybody who hasn't, and just trying to like take in all of that and figure out what the market calls for. And this is the best of both worlds. It's like, so if you're really hyped for Alvo, day one, definitely pick it up day one. We're all going to be there playing that. So $30 is a good compromise.
Now that I got my aim controller back, I can play it some more this weekend. I'm excited. Well, actually, I might just tonight or tomorrow or something. I don't know. I'm working on like 20 different things, so we'll see. I'm going to be playing a lot of it soon. Now I got the aim controller.
Yeah.
back.
So when did you guys
holding it still?
When did you guys last hop into the beta? Because I see updates on it all the time. Like every few days, it's like a new version installed. But I haven't actually jumped back in myself yet. Have you guys been in with the last week or so, or like check it out again? Or
No, I've been
No.
crazy busy. Like the worst thing about things like PSVRAF is that it keeps me from playing PSVR games. I'm like,
Yeah.
all my waking hours are like, oh, I gotta do this. But now that it's over, I'm so excited to get back into the beta and see what all of the updates have been about. Because, dude, it's like this is one of those games that like if you just gotta like be there day one and you gotta fucking get good fast. I mean, I don't know how
People are already good. Like everyone who's been playing the beta is gonna wreck us as soon as we show up, probably. Because I've already played with these guys and they're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, there's been a lot. That's going to be the one disadvantage. But again, there's going to be so many new players and stuff. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem.
Well, and the good thing too is we have enough people in our community who've been playing the beta and getting really, really good that we can just like, hey, Geisen, let me be on your team. I know how you like to camp and win all the time. So like, show me how to do that.
Are you kidding? When I record review footage, I'm definitely getting Geisen on my team.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And
MRI says I'm totally going to camp CL on top of a building somewhere. That's what Geisen does. You guys would.
That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about this game. It has that verticality to it, and they've been expanding the maps as well. Dave, you were asking like, what has changed? Well, some of those maps are a little bit bigger than you might remember from
the
before.
house. Yeah, I heard the house got expanded.
The house got expanded. There's a whole new map. I don't know the last time you played it, but did you play it since the sliding and stuff?
I did play the sliding. It still seemed pretty early days on sliding. Like I think it was just implemented. Right. So hopefully they've tweaked it up a little bit because there was a little weirdness with the speed of the stop and start when you're running and sliding. But I'm sure they'll patch that.
Well, every update has been significant in my opinion. It's been moving in the right direction. It's like they've just slapped there was a solid foundation at first, and just during the beta phase, thanks to all the beta testers, thanks to all the cats who helped as well and participated, Geisen and a bunch of other cats out there. It's every single thing has just been polish, expanding, polish. And so like, it's just been nice. Some new gameplay mechanics and just lots of good stuff.
Yeah, we got a bunch of good questions about this. And before we get to the tips, I do want to actually mention, is it Jacques Tucker? I'm just fucking
Jacques.
Sure,
I think it's Jacques.
Let's go with Jacques Tucker. I don't know why I decided he's French.
I think you're assigning a little more Frenchness to it than. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm half French. Everybody's kind of French when I speak.
There you go.
He says, will it support move controllers? And the great thing about this is it does. We talked about Doom and Firewall and Farpoint and how a lot of aim games just naturally are like DualShock or aim and no move support. And this supports all three control schemes. The one oddity is that it's not going to feel exactly like your normal move controlled game. You're not going to have like a hand and a gun or something like that. It's a little bit different, but eventually, I think as Steve was saying in the interview, I think I kept that in, that one of the first things they're planning on after launch, on post launch, is to have dual wielding pistols for people who are using two move controllers. So you are going to have like a different type of gameplay experience, but they are, in other words, they're very. Dave said it right. Thank you for clarifying.
Got it.
So you are going to have a different gameplay experience after launch, but if you dive right in, you'll still be able to use the move controllers day one. We also got Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have more to say about that?
Oh,
my bad.
No, just a tiny thing about the move controls. What it's currently implemented as is one hand is your gun and it sort of floats off your one hand, right? You don't hold a shotgun with two hands like that,
right?
Which sounds funky, but actually with the way the tracking on the moves works, like it's kind of good. Like once you get used to the weird feeling of having a two-armed weapon in one hand, it's nice to have one just dedicated to motion and not worry about that. But I'm sure people would like the two pistols mode a lot as well. But.
Looper the Game Cat with the €5 says, is next month the time for an updated top 5 AIM games list, AJ?
Just might be.
How about a top 10?
Whoa.
What? Yeah, I guess we got to wait till after the fall comes out, because that's certainly going to be a contender for that list.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been working on a lot of things lately, and one of them is actually aim gun related. So whether it's a top 5, top 10 aim games or whatever, or just an upcoming aim games, yeah, that's something you can look forward to for sure.
Mad Max the Game Cat Alley Cat with the $5 tip says, "Well, I lose my game once it's released." Alvo beta tester question.
I think so.
I think they should. They should hit that reset button.
I think they will. I mean, Steve's not going to lose all that money. You know what I mean? Like, all those people who've been playing still want to buy the thing just because they already have been testing it. Doesn't mean like they don't want to spend $30 on the thing.
Right.
So,
and actually,
well, it's more about progress, I think, right?
Well, that it's funny because you guys are both tackling two different sides of the question, and I think, I'm glad you're both answering that. I hope the game is reset so that everybody starts off on a level playing field, and I would assume that no, you don't get to keep the game because it's the beta. Yeah, you would have to buy it at that point. So regardless of what the question is, I think no, you don't get to keep it. That's our answer for both questions.
Correct. I've never owned a game after playing the beta. It's like, hey, that's convenient.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I want to get in on every beta. Like, I'm just piling up stacks of free games over here.
I actually have had ones that they sent me as a beta that still work on Steam, but not on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
All right, guys. So April 13th, just 1 week away.
Crazy
exciting.
So,
Bryan,
yes.
Of course, you had to go big and do a send-off for the inaugural PSVR's April AF event with the announcement reveal of Wanderer VR. And might I say, Bryan, it looks graphically really stunning.
Yeah, it's quite impressive looking.
Yeah. So again, a little inside baseball for you guys. This was one where I just didn't know until the absolute last minute if we were going to get something from them. I'd been talking to them all month long, and then I mean at like 4:00 in the morning, they came through and they were like, "Hey guys, we've been working around the clock and we finally have this ready for you." And it was like, wow, like just what a great send off. It's been an awesome 3 days, and now getting to kick off the end of the show with this is just amazing. So shout out to the team over there. Unbelievable. So thankful that they let us do this. And the fact is like, so just a heads up, everybody, you've probably seen some misinformation from some places. No surprises where. This isn't a trailer. This is not their official trailer. They have not revealed their trailer yet. That is coming very soon. So this is the first time anyone's actually seen anything from Wanderer VR yet.
And so can we assume that means that this is gameplay footage? This is not some kind of fancy trailer shit. It's
right.
We're looking at the game itself right here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good to know.
Yeah, 100%. And it's definitely some rough footage, all connected together, and but it certainly gives you an idea, a little bit of the inventory system, a little bit of like there's like some shooting mechanics, there's conversations you'll be having, and just in sort of the general overall aesthetic of the world and the items. Man, they had been showing a few animated GIFs for the last month or so, and it was just like, interesting. This could be something. This could be nothing. And now I'm pretty convinced that it's going to be something. I think this looks beautiful, and I'm really excited for it. What were you guys' first impressions?
The first thing that popped out at me was the character models in this game are great. The animation, like everyone looks good and convincing, and like current gen, what you'd expect out of like what a human looks like in a video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that always stands out to me in VR because like there's so many games that have to stylize or lower the polys, and like as much as we love Doom 3, the NPCs are like the worst part of the thing. So like having NPCs that actually look and feel like what you'd expect out of a game in 2021 is big stuff. And the voiceover sounded pretty good. I'm not sure if that main sassy guy is going to be annoying or not, but he sounds like he might be okay.
Yeah.
And the world is very like well designed, very gorgeous. Everything looks really nice. So I do see a little bit of like maybe adventure-y sort of like Indiana Jonesy stuff, like he's polishing off this old thing to reveal the hieroglyphs underneath it and stuff like that. So there's got to be some kind of mystery, like ancient secret here going on. That I love shit like that. So
I love that it's like a Windex spray bottle.
Yeah,
right. It's not like a little artifact brush or anything like that where he's carefully dusting stuff off. He's just like okay, now I can see it.
And it's like perfectly shiny as soon as he wipes it down. Yeah,
right.
That is kind of funny.
This is a puzzle game that has me a little intrigued.
AJ got his nightly freeze up over there, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
You're back.
you're
You're back. Yeah,
You're back.
good.
You're back.
This is a puzzle game that has me a little bit intrigued here. I don't know. It's got like these different mechanics in it. First of all, like I said, it's stunning looking. It looks more like kind of like an adventure or some kind of mystery thing going on versus just like, oh, here's your next puzzle. Here's your next boring puzzle. Puzzle. But there's a lot of interactive elements. It's almost like each one is set up as its own little VR mini game, and I love that about seeing this. Also, it seems like there is some kind of story-driven thing. Again, the graphics, I can't get over the detail. Maybe it's not the graphics itself; it's just like the detail that it shows. It's so detailed looking, and I love that about it. And when you were referencing those GIFs that we had seen and stuff, it had stuff like them looking at a watch and then like ending up on the moon and stuff and coming back. So it'll be really cool to see what kind of other elements they have in this. But yep.
Yeah, don't mind me. I was just getting one thing together here real quick.
No, I'm just responding to chat's demands that I take a shot because AJ said puzzle again.
Thanks,
guys. Appreciate that.
While I am getting this together here real quick, one of the things that I saw people asking during the PSVR event, if it's full locomotion or teleportation, and it's both. You do have the option for either one.
Good.
Yeah, and obviously you guys heard my voiceovers during the not trailer, during the gameplay footage, and it's and they basically reference, it's a mix of exploration and puzzle solving, and then like almost like escape room style puzzles at a certain point. So this is 100% right up my alley too.
Cool.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll be curious to see as it gets closer to launch is like, despite the detail and the level of graphical fidelity and stuff, there were a couple moments where I was like, okay, that doesn't look like as good as the rest of the stuff around it. So, for instance, when you're spraying and wiping down the thing, you can see that it gets revealed in patches. Like this section goes pop, this section goes pop, this section goes pop, which is a gamey thing or whatever. But when the rest of the world looks so convincing and realistic, I hope those little things like get polished up just so that it's not immersion breaking, when you see a little thing like that. Because this could be like one of the best looking games.
It's it's always tough to tell at this stage of the game. Like the fact is that when they said they haven't revealed any gameplay before, this is the very first time this has been revealed to the world. It's these guys. Like I said, when they didn't send it to me at 4:00 in the morning just because they wanted to torture me and keep me from sleeping. It's because they have been working around the clock to have something to prepare for this show, something to show, and so it's what I wasn't surprised to see some kind of unpolished things like that. They wanted to show some gameplay variety. Who knows if that's going to be polished up before launch or not? But like as far as I'm concerned, I was like, holy crap! Like for their first reveal, they showed a lot of stuff. I'm not, because of that, I'm not too nervous.
Well, and there's also there's been, what was that game, Blunt Force? Is that the name of it that got teased?
Yeah,
it looks very pretty. I played the PC demo, and while it looks great, it's not a fun game. It doesn't play well, and there's all this other stuff. So it's like, this looks more promising to me.
Like 2015.
Yeah, this still looks more promising to me because I've seen more of the actual gameplay of it. Yeah. The inventory system, the guy telling you, oh, try this to do this or whatever. I get a feel for what the game is. Whereas with that one, I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick here, if you guys want a little bit more information on this game, some of this might be a little repetitive, but a lot of it's going to be new for you guys. Wanderer takes you back through the ages to reshape humanity's fortune, experiment alongside frenzied inventors, play to an endless crowd of hippies, defend ancient civilizations from invasions, decode covert messages in the midst of war, and uncover the secrets of the space race. Will you follow what you know to be true, or are there forces at play beyond your control? It's a blend of escape room style puzzles, tactile hands-on VR interactions, and arcade action sequences. You are Asher Newman, thrust into an unexpected journey to change the course of history. The search begins for your grandfather's lost apartment and the mysterious artifacts that are hidden within. With the discovery of an enigmatic wristwatch, I'm still not sure if I'm going to say it right. Wristwatch. You forge a friendship and unlock the powers to traverse time and space. Will you have what it takes to navigate the secrets of the past and prevent the collapse of civilization? Almost done, I promise. Travel back through the ages. Yeah, talk to me.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. Like the more you describe it and the background story and stuff, like I'm super all in on this. If it looks this good and that's the concept, hell yeah. And I do remember in the but stuff you showed, it wasn't a trailer exactly, but there was some talk of the Soviet nuclear codes and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, what's that about? So it's good to hear the context for that. It almost reminds me of like an old Star Trek episode where they have to like go back in time to prevent something happening, or they get stuck back in time and they have to, go through the ages and fix shit. Sounds exciting. Cool story.
Hope that every leap will be the leap home. Quantum leap now. Okay. Travel back through the ages, change the course of history. There you go. And prevent the collapse of civilization. Walk in the footsteps of those who have gone before. Explore ages and events long lost to the hands of time as you find yourself thrust headfirst into some of humanity's most monumentous events or an adventure like no other. I mean, very ambitious. Can't wait to see how they pull this off. They're talking about like all sorts of different, time zones, time periods, locations. It just seems very, very ambitious, and I hope they can pull it off. We'll see, man. We'll see.
So Braxton B, maybe my favorite comment of the night, says "Wristwatch, ooh woo, oow, ooh woo, the little anime thing.
Yep.
Wristwatch, ooh."
Nice. It's a lot of love for Quantum Leap in the chat, man. That's all I cared about, man. It's like
everyone got it
right. Lots of people, even like Nihilus Ryan, remember the name Sam Beckett off the top of his head. That's fucking great, man. I'm like, I got nothing. Yeah, guys, this is super exciting. This one little thing that no one I don't think is really talking about, and I don't know if it's a gameplay mechanic or they're just showing off playful world interactions. But there's this chalkboard at the end of the trailer that they're showing off right here, where the dude in the game is like writing on the chalkboard, and he's like writing letters and stuff as like a note, and he's playing with his typewriter, like trying to figure out some puzzle. And it's so, again, I'm going to bring back Professor Layton, but it's so nice to be able to have this button in Professor Layton where you can draw on the screen and try to like figure out the puzzle you're working on, and be like, oh,
a scratch pad. A scratch pad.
Exactly. Yeah. And so to have like this chalkboard just sitting there in this room where there's a puzzle where you're just like, let me work this out. Yeah. Let me work this out, because dude, like the number of times I've been in VR, what was the game? Last Labyrinth. One of the puzzles was so difficult and it required so much. I swear it was just like straight up algebra, where like I went and I was like x plus 3 divided by and I was like, I don't even remember if I can do this, and I needed a pen and paper, and I was like, you don't want pen and paper when you're in VR. You're like, I'm in this other world. Don't make me lift my headset up and write on a piece of paper. And so to have something like a chalkboard, I don't know if this is the point of the chalkboard in the game, but it's really nice to be able to just be like, let me just take some notes in the game world to help solve this puzzle. And I really hope that's what they're doing there with that.
Yeah, I saw at the end, doesn't he scroll out like 2 letters, JW? Mm-hmm. And I was wondering what that meant. I wondered if that was some kind of message to us, or like we've talked about games dropping little hints, binary stuff. My first thought, though, was he was just like named Joseph Wanderer or something, which is apparently not the case. I thought he was signing his initials, Joe Wanderer. Just wandering.
I really hope his name isn't Wanderer at all.
No, you already told me his name. It's Asher Kutcher or something. I don't know what the fuck.
Nope, that's totally different guy.
Asher Keaton.
Ashton Kutcher is a totally different dude.
No, Asher Keaton. That's what you said, right?
Is that what I said? I don't even know.
I don't know what his fucking name is.
Asher Newman.
I was close.
There you go. Wow. So guys, I don't know what your feelings were, but I feel like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were PSVR AF.
Yeah.
It was a great show, man. Really, really enjoyed it. And man, there's just, there's been this topic of, I don't know. There's just a lot. We're all, of course, waiting for PSVR 2. But it certainly seems like there's still a lot going on with PSVR 1. And that's exciting because I don't want to wait until.
I don't want to wait. Sorry.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. But yeah, man, I just like I don't want to have to wait that long to get stuff to be entertained, to have stuff that's fun to play. So yeah, it's really exciting to see, and I do expect some of these games. You know, I'm hoping they all come to PSVR 1 or whatever, but I do expect several games that maybe end up getting delayed or something happens where they end up maybe on PSVR 2 instead. I think these are all possibilities, especially if you want them to look and play as best as they can. So something we have to be a little open-minded about. We are in a transitional period still where nobody's experienced this. We've never experienced a console VR transition. So it's a lot of still unknowns, but at least there's like a more solid roadmap right now, and it's really exciting. We just got Doom 3, we got Hitman, we got PS5 patch for No Man's Sky. Just good times, man. Good times all around. I'm having fun.
Yeah. I not to dive too far deep into it, but we did get a comment when the Alvo release trailer release date dropped. Somebody was upset, and they said I can't believe that they're releasing this now, which is on essentially outdated hardware at the end of the life cycle. PSVR 2 is right around the corner. And I'm like, I get that. I totally get that. I understand, like I would love a really strong PSVR 2 launch.
I don't really get that either.
I disagree.
I haven't played the game. It clearly runs great on current hardware, and the aim controller obviously is like a huge bonus. Yeah. I mean,
well, I think people, I think, playing devil's advocate or at least being the advocate of the person who wrote this comment. Because I obviously, because I want these games now too. I want this to be a fun year. I don't want the excitement to die down at any point. Like I just want it to be nonstop. And so, but I do get it though. Like I would like, the hope is that, Steve over at Martin Pohl at Alvo has been talking about, we want this on PSVR 2 as soon as possible. We want this running, really well on the PlayStation 5. And so the hope is that, again, we get some of these games, and then as soon as PSVR 2 drops, we get some updates for these games to take advantage of the new controllers, the better graphics, all that stuff. I really want the best of both worlds. Quick shout out to Looper, the game cat with the €5. I want a virtual smartphone to make notes in Google strategy guides, maybe even as part of the PlayStation system. Right, absolutely, man. It's like something in game but you like with full internet access, like it actually accesses your internet. You're just like www.chaturba. Couldn't get through an episode without making a Chatterbait joke. That's right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been a fun episode of PSVR Gamescast Live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're here, and if you're not here, make sure you're here just a little bit later to catch the show after it happens. Dude, I can't wait to sleep tonight. I'm so excited. But AJ's got a ton of stuff in the works. I've got a ton of stuff in the works. Dave, I don't.
I got to tell you something before we go.
You got any stuff in the works?
Everybody should go play Oddworld. It's free and it's so good. I haven't played one in a long time. It's gorgeous on PS5. You will die a lot. It's suitably challenging. It uses the adaptive triggers and stuff. Check it out. It's a no-brainer. That's all I got to say.
Nice.
Good shit.
Should we or shouldn't we? It's a should we. And
absolutely.
like 14 seconds, man. 14 seconds. You nailed it. All right, guys. We'll see you back here on Friday, same time. And of course, stay tuned to all three of the channels for new content. Join the Discord. That's it. That's the other thing I want to say. Join the Discord. The link's in the description. That's where this conversation